Word meaning open to being persuaded by a strong argument. To be used in a phrase like especially civil, thoughtful, and ___ expressions of differing beliefs, this is closest to the primary use case. Or especially civil, thoughtful, and ___ attitudes toward disagreement. Edited in from comments below. Reasonable would more likely be interpreted as logical/valid in the phrases above, though in another context it would fit perfectly as meaning open to being persuaded. Approachable is very close, though I'm looking for something with a more natural hint toward persuasion rather than just friendliness. Convincible is in the right direction, but perhaps a bit too far. I want the understood meaning to be that the person welcomes differing perspectives and is open to changing their mind, but isn't very easily persuaded because they have good reasons for their position, rather than because they're stubborn, or because they are very highly educated about a subject. I looked through similar questions and did a few searches on Google and on here, and asked on Reddit, but haven't found what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for open-minded, too broad, or tentative, too uncertain of oneself. Open-ended conveys something similar, but applies more to processes or decisions than to beliefs/perceptions. Flexible is too open for what I'm aiming for. Persuadable is closer, but not quite what I'm looking for. I feel like there's another P word that has a closer meaning. Pluralistic as a description of decision-making is also along the same lines, but I don't think it's the word that is trying to get my attention from somewhere inside of my brain. I suppose that I could make up a word, like paritas, meaning treating things equally, but I'm still hoping that there's someone out there who has a better word, or who can provide the P word I'm thinking of, if it actually exists, rather than being a vague mismemory in my brain. Receptive is closer to what I'm after than amenable or suggestible are. I'm looking for potentially open to being persuaded more than easily persuaded or readily yielding or something similar.
This meaning may not be the first that springs to mind when we encounter the word reasonable in isolation, but this is certainly among its available meanings, and in the right context the word will be read or heard as meaning thus. OED. Willing to listen to or prepared to see reason.
It seems you have explored all possibilities. I can suggest the following. Approachable. The supervisor is quite approachable, so don't hesitate to bring up any problems you have. Accessible. Talk to our director and you'll find he's accessible to new ideas. Open and responsive, unbiased. I still think receptive fits better than any of my suggestions.
Convincible. Being susceptible to persuasion. Persuasible. Capable of being persuaded, persuadable. In a figurative sense, you can talk about a permeable mind. As for your sample sentence, an unprejudiced attitude towards disagreement might work.
I feel like the word you're thinking of is pragmatic, as in pragmatic about his views. A pragmatic person would be willing to change their minds if someone offered an irrefutable argument, rather than clinging to an untenable position.